Greetings, my name is Innocent MAPANDA. Thank you for tuning in today's episode. We are going to proceed from where we left yesterday. We are focusing on November 2010 paper 1 Zimsec. Right, we did the questions from number 1 up to 16. So in this video, we are going to proceed from question number 17. It reads, it is given that number of A is equals to 80, number of B is equals to 11, and number of A union B complement is equals to 0. So whenever you see this term complement, it refers to the terms or the elements which are not in A, which are not in B combined, right? So you can clearly notice that this P, right, is not in A and this P is not in B. It represents the number of elements which are neither found in A nor set B. So in simple terms, 0 is representing P. It means P is equal to 0. I hope you are listening, class, right? Then number of B is equal to 11, right? So 11, it covers all the terms inside this circle of B. It means that I'm going to put 11 to represent R. Therefore, R is equal to 11. I hope you are listening, class. Right. Then, number of A is equal to 18. Right. So, for 18, you do not write the 18 inside, but you write the 18 on the circumference of the set 18. Why? Because 18 covers everything inside the circle A, including B. So if you take Q, add Q with 11, you must have a sum of 18, since 18 covers both R and Q. I hope you are listening, class. So to find Q, it is now a matter of taking away 11 from 18. Right? So 18 minus 11, it gives you Q. So Q is equal to 18 minus 11. You get what? 7. So we have 7 representing Q. I hope you are listening. Let us present our answers in the given space. P is equal to 0. Q is equal to 7. And R is equal to 11. I hope you are listening, class. Right. Then you are home and dry. We move on to part B. For the same given information, they are referring to this information where A is 18, B is 11, and A union B is equal to 0. Right. Complete the Venn diagram to show the number of elements in each region where number of A union B is equal to 29. Right. So, for A union B to be 29, since we have A 18 and B 11, for it to be 29, you draw the circles or the sets of A, right, and B in such a way that the two circles do not intersect. So this is set A and this is set B. In set A, you have 18. In set B, you have 11. So if 11 is added onto 18, you get 29. Where A union B is equals to 29 according to the given instruction here. I hope you are listening, class. Then, we are given that number, right, of A union B complement is 0. So it's either you write 0 or you just leave it like that, since there is no term in that region. Right. So 18 plus 11, you get 29, plus 0, you get 29. This total is placed on the universal total to represent that the total elements inside the Venn diagram, they all add up to 29. Then you are home and dry. This is how you present it. I hope you are following, class. Right. Then, what is the meaning of this Venn diagram in set notation? It represents A is not an element of B, right? Then the first one, if you are being asked to write this in set notation, you can see that B is inside A. So if B is inside A, you write it as B is a subset of A. For example, Zimbabwe is found in Africa. So you write Z is a subset of Africa. I hope you are listening, class. Right, let us move on to the next question. We are now on question number 18. It reads, M and N are 2 by 2 matrices such that M is equals to 2 minus 2 minus 1, 3. And Mn is equals to 4 minus 2, 0, 7. Here comes the first part of the question. Find M to the power of minus 1. M to the power of minus 1, it denotes the inverse of M. So let me start by writing the matrix M. We have 2, minus 2, minus 1, and 3. Right. So for matrix, 2 by 2 matrix, you want to find the inverse. You start by identifying the determinant of M, which is usually denoted in this format. Right. Determinant of M is found by the formula bracket minus bracket. Right. So the first bracket is obtained by the product of the numbers in branch 1. I hope you are following. So by branch 1, I refer to 2 and 3. So in this first bracket, you multiply 2 and 3. The second bracket is obtained by the product of the numbers in branch 2. By branch 2, I refer to the diagonal minus 2 and minus 1. So you multiply minus 2 times minus 1. So the skill of indicating branch 1 and branch 2, it helps you to make sure that you are doing the correct thing. Because if you interchange the brackets, if you write 2 times 3 in the second bracket, minus 2 times minus 1 in the first bracket, you will be marked wrong. I hope you are listening. Right, so let us proceed in the calculation of the determinant. 2 times 3, you get what? 6. Right? Then you put the negative sign in between the brackets. Minus 2 times minus 1, you get positive 2. So it gives 6 minus 2, which is equal to 4, where 4 is representing the determinant of the matrix M. Right. So after identifying the determinant, it is now easy for someone to write down the inverse of M. You start by writing 1 over, because whenever you see the word inverse, inverse means 1 over something. So you write 1 over the determinant that you have found in the part, in the first part of the working. Then you put open bracket and close bracket. Right. So the terms inside the bracket, right, are going to be found by this skill. Right? The first diagonal is going to be found by swapping the elements or the numbers in the first branch. What is swapping? Swapping means interchange. So 3 and 2, they are going to interchange their positions in such a way that 3 occupies the original position of 2 and 2 occupies the original position of 3. This is what you do for the branch 1, right? Then we move on to the branch 2. For branch 2, you do the skill of changing signs. You change sign or you multiply by minus 1. There is no interchanging, right? So it means minus 2 and minus 1, they are not going to interchange, but you are simply going to change signs, right? So if you had minus 2, you now write it as positive 2. This is minus 1, you now write it as plus 1. Likewise, if we had 2, you write this as minus 2. If you had 1, you write this as minus 1. This is what we call the changing of signs, or the multiplication of branch 2 numbers by minus 1. Then you are home and dry. On to part B of the question. Find the matrix N, where N is a 2 by 2 matrix. Right. So we are given information that Mn, right, is equals to 4 minus 2, 0, and 7. I hope you are listening, class. Right, so let me shed more light to ensure understanding here. Right, if you are given matrix M and matrix N as 2 by 2 matrices, multiplying each other to give 4 minus 2, 0, and what? And 7, right? To find the matrix N, if you are given matrix M, right, you make N the subject of the formula, right, by removing, right, this M through dividing both sides by M. So if you divide both sides by M, right, you get 1 over M times Mn is equals to 1 over M times 4 minus 2, 0, and 7. I hope you are listening. So matrix M and matrix M, they cancel out each other, leaving you with the N on the left side. 1 over M is now written as M to the power of minus 1 using the laws of indices. Then you have 4, 0, minus 2, and what? And 7. Right. So we are now taking advantage that in the part A of the question, we found the inverse of M to the power of minus 1 already is 1 over 4, open bracket, 3, 2, right, 2, and 1, like this. So this is the answer, or this is the matrix that you substitute on M to the power of minus 1 to multiply 4 minus 2, 0, and 7. I hope you are listening. Right. So to multiply, you start by holding this 1/4 outside the bracket so that you multiply the 2 brackets in front first. I hope you are listening, class. All right. So the multiplication of these 2 brackets gave us what? Right? They gave us what? 12, 8, 4, right? And 12 here. After you multiply these 2 brackets, you get this matrix. So to then make N the subject of the formula, multiplication of 1/4 is good as dividing by 4. So 4 into 12, you get 3. 4 into 8, you get 2. 4 into 4, you get 1. And 4 into 12, you get what? 3. So this is how I found the value of N. Right. We are now moving on to question number 19. We are given 2 triangles ABC and ACD to form a quadrilateral ABCD. Right. Using as much information given below as is necessary, find the area of triangle ABC. Right. So to find the area of triangle ABC, remember, area of triangle, we make use of half AB sine theta. Right. We could not use half base times height. Why? Because triangle ABC does not contain a right angled triangle. You don't have to assume that there is 90 degree at B. Why? Because there is no indication that at B there is 90, as with C. For C, yes, you are safe to say C is 90 because there is a box here. But you cannot assume that we have 90 degrees at B. So half base times height does not work to find this area of ABC, but you make use of half AB sine theta. Right. So according to this formula, A and B are sides which contains theta in between, or which enclose theta in between. So if we look at this triangle ABC, The appropriate sides to be used as A and B are 8 and 12. Why? Because 8 and 12 are the sides which contains 26,4 degrees in between as theta. So I'm going to substitute those values. On A, I'm going to put 8. On B, I'm going to put 12. Then you write sine 26,4 like this. I hope you are following, class. Then it's half, open bracket 8, 12, open bracket, close bracket. On this, or in this bracket, I need to substitute sine 26,4 with the given value in the table below. So sine 26,4 is 0,44. So I'm going to put 0,44, right, which is equivalent to sine 26,4, right. So let us simplify. Right, 2, right, into 12, you get what? 6, right? Then 8 times 6, it produces 48. So that 48 multiplies 0,44. So when you're multiplying decimals, you start by ignoring the commas. So I'm multiplying 48 with what? With 44. 0 is a what? Is a placeholder. 4 times 8, you get what? 32. You write 2, carry 3. 4 times 4, you get what? 16. Plus 3, it produces 19. 4 times 4, you get what? 32. 4 times 8, you get what? 32. You write 2, carry 3. Then 4 times 4 is 16 plus 3, you get what? 19. So if we are to add here, 0 plus 2, you get 2. 2 plus 9 is 11. Carry 1. 9 plus 1 is 10 plus 1. 11. Carry 1. 1 plus 1, you get 2. So do not forget that we have 2 decimal places here. So I'm going to put a comma between 1 and 1. So that 1 and 2 becomes the 2 decimal places. So my final answer is 21, 1, 2. I hope you are following, class. We are now moving on to part B of the question. Find AD. Right. So to find AD, it is very simple. Why? Because we are given a right angle triangle with the 2 known sides. So AD can be found using Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem, it says that h squared is equals to a squared plus what? Plus b squared. Right. H denotes the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. This side is the side which is opposite to the 90-degree angle. We are talking of AD. AD is opposite to this 90°. So I'm going to put AD squared on h squared is equals to 12 squared plus 5 squared, the given 2 sides raised to the power of 2. So you get AD squared is equals to 12 squared, you get 144, right? Then 5 squared, you get 25, right? So it gives AD squared is equals to 169. To find AD, put square root both sides. You get AD is equals to square root of 169, which is 13. So your final answer here is 13. Then you are home and dry. It is given that t is equals to 2 pi square root of L, this is L here, over G, right? Find t when L is equals to 156,8, G is equals to 9,8, and pi is equals to 3,1. So this is a matter of substitution, right? So I'm writing t here is equals to, right, 2, open what? Open bracket. On pi, you are going to put 3,1, right? Then you put a square root like this. L is 156,8 to be divided by G, where G is 9,8. I hope you are listening. So, what is 2 times 3,1? 3,1 times 2. 2 times 1, you get 2. 2 times 3, you get 6. But there is one decimal place it produces 6,2. So you get t is equals to 6,2 square root. Right. So for me to divide 156,8 with 9,8, I need to eliminate the commas. So the commas can be eliminated by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by 10. So you have a numerator of 1568 and a denominator of 98. I hope you are listening, class. So let us find a factor which can reduce 1568 over 98 in its lowest terms. Right. Let us start with what? Let us start with 2. Right. 2 into 15, you get 7. Remainder 1. 2 into 16, you get 8. 2 into 8, you get 4. So we now have square root of 784. 2 into 9, you get what? You get 4. Remainder 1. 2 into 18, you get 9. So you put 49. So we now have t is equals to 6,2 square root of 748 over 49. Right. But 7 is a factor of 49 and 7 is a factor of 784. So this can be reduced further. 7 into 7, you get 1. 7 into 8, you get 1. Remainder 1. 7 into 14, you get 2. Then 7 into 49, you get 7. So we now have t is equals to 6,2 square root of 112 over 7. I hope you are listening. Right. So what is 7 into 11? 7 into 11, you get 1. Right? Remainder what? Remainder 4. Right. 7 into 42, you get what? 6. So we now have t is equals to 6,2 square root of 16. Since 7 into 112, you get 16. Square root of 16 is an exact value which produces 4. So t is equals to 6,2 by 4. Right. So 6,2 times 4 must produce the final answer. So 4 times 2, you get 8. Right? 4 times 6, you get 24. Right? But we have one decimal place, so I'm going to put a comma between 4 and 8. My final answer is 24,8. So this is how you solve this without using a calculator. You are in paper 1. So you reduce in its less terms for it to be easy to simplify. Right. Then to part B of the question. Make L the subject of the formula. So remember, we are given t is equals to 2 pi, right, square root of L over G. We want to make L the subject. Right. So the L that we need to make the subject is inside the square root. So square root is removed by squaring both sides with power 2. I hope you are listening. But I advise students to introduce square root after eliminating the number before or the number attached to the root sign. So let us start by dividing both sides by 2 pi before we raise both sides by power 2. I hope you are listening. So you get t all over to 2 pi is equals to square root of L over G like this. Then after eliminating or after removing the number attached to the root sign, it is now safer for you to raise both sides by power 2. So you raise this by power 2 and you raise this by power 2. I hope you are following, class. So the power 2 on the right side, it causes the root sign to disappear. It causes the root sign to vanish. But it does not affect the terms inside the root sign. So you are not going to get L squared or G squared. Why? Because the power 2 is going to function by just removing the root sign so that the terms inside the root sign will appear as it is without being affected by that power 2. Right? But the power 2 on the left side is going to raise everything inside that bracket. Take for example, if you have A over BC all raised to the power of 2. It means that A is going to be affected by this power 2. B is going to be affected by this power 2. And also C is going to be affected by this power 2. So this is how you introduce the power. It raises both the numerator and the denominator by 2. Right? So it means here you are going to get t squared, right? Then you are going to get 2 squared, which you are going to write as 4. Then you are going to get pi squared. Why? Because each and every number is going to be raised by 2. Each and every term is going to be raised by 2. Right? So we now have t squared over 2 squared is 4. So this is 4 pi squared is equals to L over G. So since we want to make L the subject of the formula, we now do the skill of cross multiplication. So 4 pi squared times L, you get 4 pi squared L. T squared times G, you get T squared G. Right? So for L to stand on its own, you divide both sides by 4 pi squared. So 4 pi squared and 4 pi squared, they cancel out each other, leaving you with the final answer. L is equals to T squared G divided by 4 pi squared. Then you are home and dry. I hope you are listening, class. We are now moving on to question number 21. It reads, simplify, give me your answer in base 8. Right? So in this case, we are going to apply the BODMAS rule, whereby we are going to start by simplifying the terms inside the bracket. So inside the bracket, we have 2, 2, 6 to base 8 being added by 1, 67 to base 8. So the rule is, when adding number bases, right, the digits, right, must not be equal to the base or must not exceed the base. It means that the maximum digit in base 8 is 7. So the digits that I'm going to write in this given space, in the total space, must range from 0 up to 7. They are not allowed to be equal to 8 or exceed 8. So if we found a number which is 8 and above, we have to reduce the number by dividing it with the base. Then you write the remainder. Like 6 plus 7, you get 13. 13 is greater than 8, so you don't write 13. But 13 is reduced by dividing that number with the base 8. So 18 to 13, you get 1, remainder 5. I hope you are following, class. So you write the remainder, which is 5, then you carry down 1. I hope you are following. 6 plus 2, you get 8. Plus 1, you get 9. 9 is above 8. So 9 is going to be reduced by 8. 18 to 9, you get 1, remainder 1. You write 1 here, then you carry this 1 down. I hope you are following. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1, you get 4. So 4, there is no need for us to divide 4 since 4 is within the range. So your answer is 415 to base 8, which is not the final answer, but which is representing the sum of the number bases inside the bracket. So you are now saying 503 to base 8 minus 415 to base 8. I hope you are listening. Right. So when subtracting number base, if the number at the top is less than the number at the bottom, it means it can't. So you have to support that number with the base to empower it. But whenever you empower the number above, you have to carry 1 to the corresponding column below. I hope you are following. 3 minus 8, it can't, since 3 is small than 5. So what you need to do is, you cancel this 3. You boost the 3 by the base 8. So 8 plus 3, it gives you 11. You have boosted the smaller number by adding it with the base 8 to get 11. But whenever you boost the smaller number, you have to carry 1. So if we carry 1, 1 plus 1, you get 2. I hope you are listening. So 11 minus 5, it produces what? 6. We are now into the second column. 0 minus 2, it can't. 0 is small. So we cancel this 0. We boost it by 8. 8 plus 0, you get 8. But whenever you boost the smaller number, you have to carry 1 to the adjacent column. So this 4 becomes 5. So 8 minus 2, you get what? 6. So our final answer is 66 to base 8. When presenting your answer, do not present it as 66. You will be marked wrong. Because if you present it as 66, it is as if your answer is in base 10. So you present it as 66 to base what? To base 8. So that you don't lose marks. I hope you are following, class. We move on to part B. Evaluate log 3 plus 9 divided by log 405 minus log 5. So when evaluating a log of this kind, you start by applying the quotient rule and the product rule. Remember, when you add, let me write the question first, log 3 plus log 9 divided by log 405 minus log 5. So when adding numbers in logs, you multiply the numbers. This is the product rule. So you get 3 times 9. When subtracting, you divide. So you get 405 divided by 5. I hope you are following, class. So what is 3 by 9? 3 by 9, it produces log 27. Right? Then what is 5 into 40? 5 into 40 is 8. Then 5 into 5 is 1. You get log 81. I hope you are listening. So the rule of logs is you are not allowed to cancel logs, right, with different numbers in front. Take for example, you have log 8 divided by log 2 and you are being asked to simplify or to evaluate. If you say log and log, they cancel out each other. 2 into 8 is 4, therefore your answer is 4. Then you are wrong. I hope you are following. Why? Because you are not allowed to cancel logs with different numbers in front. But if you have, take for example, log 2 divided by log 2. Yes, log 2 and log 2, they cancel out each other. Why? Because they've got a common number in front. But you are not allowed to cancel logs with a different number in front. So let's say you are given log 8 over log 2 and you want to simplify this. The idea is to express both the numerator and the denominator, the number in front of the log, to have a same base. So 8 can be written as 2 cubed. Log 2 remains the same. So using the power rule, it says that log P log A is good as log A to the power of P. So it means I can bring down the power, right? This power 3, I can bring it down to give 3 log 2 over log 2. Now that we have common numbers in front, log 2 and log 2 can now safely cancel out each other, giving you your final answer, which is 3. So 4 is not the answer. So we are going to use the same concept here. We want to create same base on 27 and 81. So this can be achieved using 3 as the base, where 27 can be written as log 3 cubed. 81 can be written as log 3 to the power 4. Applying the power rule, you bring down the powers. So you get 3 log 3, and this is 4 log 3. Log 3 and log 3, they cancel out each other. Why? Because we now have a common number in front. So it is now possible for those logs to cancel out each other. So your final answer is 3/4. Then you are home and dry. So I'm going to put 3/4 as the final answer. I hope you are listening, class. Right, we are now moving on to question number 2. We are given a quadratic graph, also known as the parabola. Right, y is equals to x squared minus 2x minus 4 is the quadratic graph given. So here are the questions. Right, the diagram shows the graph of y is equals to x squared minus 2x minus 4. All right. On the diagram, draw the graph of y is equals to 10 minus 2x. So to draw the graph of y is equals to 10 minus 2x, it is very simple. You construct what you call a table of values. You want to find the value of y when x is 0 and the value of x when y is 0. Once you have two different points, it is now easy for you to construct the required line. So to find y when x is 0, you write y is equals to 10, right? Minus 2. Then you put 0 in front of this 2, right? So any number times 0, you get 0. So y is equals to 10 is the answer. You write 10 here. So the first point is 0 and 10. But for you to draw a line, you must have two different points. So the other point, I'm going to find it using the second column. We want to find the value of x this time around when y is 0. So it means I'm going to put 0 on the left side where it's found, right? Then 10 minus what? Minus 2x. Move 2x to the left side, you get 2x is equals to 10. I hope you are following, class. Divide both sides by 2. 2 into 10, you get 5. So when y is 0, x is 5, leading you to the second point, which is 5, 0. So where is 0, 10? This is 0, 10. Where is 5, 0? 5 is a point which is between 4 and 6. So from 4 to 6, you have 10 small boxes. So to get 5, you need to count 5 small boxes in front of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes in front of 4. You put your point here. Then you take your ruler so that you connect those 2 points here. I hope you are following. So connecting the points, you bring out a line like this, and make sure when connecting those points, try to draw a line which cuts the parabola twice, right? And do not forget to label y is equals to 10 minus 2x. Then you are home and dry. We move on to part B. Use the graphs to estimate the solution of the equation. X squared minus 2x minus 4 is equals to 10 minus 2x. So this is very simple, right? The points of intersection, right, between your line and the parabola, right, helps you to identify the required solutions. For example, the first solution is going to come, right, at this point. You find the value of x which is aligned at that point. So let me draw a vertical line. So you can clearly notice that we have 2 small boxes before we touch minus 4. But I want you to notice something, class, right? That if you have a scale 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, one small box represents 0,2, right? So we have 8 small boxes, right, in front, 8 small boxes in front. I hope you are listening. So the first thing to do is you count 5 small boxes in front of minus 2. So if you count 5 small boxes in front of minus 2, you touch minus 3, right? So in front of this minus 3, you have 1, 2, 3 small boxes, where one small box is 0,2. So 3 small box means 0,6. So it means that our first answer is minus 3,6. This value is minus 3,6. Since negative, they increase in a leftward direction. Then or, remember, you must have 2 solutions. This is a quadratic equation, right? The other root is going to be found at the second point of intersection between the parabola and straight line. So you do likewise, right? You draw a vertical line here, right? So you can clearly notice that how many boxes in front, right? We have 1, 2, 3, about 9, about 8 and a half boxes in front. So letters of 4 identify 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 3, right? 5 boxes in front of 2. Then the first 2 boxes 0,2 and 0,4 and 0,6. You can clearly notice that there is 8,5, right? So 8,5, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you touch 3. If we add one small box in front of 3, this is now 3,2. Another box 3,4. Another box 3,6. Then another box is not full, but it is being cut into half. So you cannot say 3,8, but this is 3,7. I hope you are listening. So your answer is 3 minus 3,6 and 3,7. Then you are home and dry. Right, we move on to part C. It reads, state the range of possible values for which x squared minus 2x minus 4 is less than or equal to 14. So you start by drawing the line y is equals to 14. So 14, remember the vertical axis is using 5, 10, 15, 20. So for vertical axis, 2 small boxes represents 1. So 14, you must have 8 small boxes. So you leave 2 small boxes before 15. Then you draw your horizontal line like this. Label it y is equals to 14, right? So the range of possible values, right, can be written in inequality form, and Zimsec has prepared the inequality form for you already. So the lower limit is the value of x which is aligned to this first point of intersection between the line y is equals to 14 and the parabola. So if we are to draw a vertical line downwards here, you can notice that we have something like 3, we have something like 4 small boxes before minus 4. So this is minus 3,2. So minus 3,2 is the first solution. Then the second solution is going to be located on this side here. We have something like 1, 2, 3 boxes before 6. So if we have 5 between 4 and 6, right, and add the 2 boxes in front of that 5, you get 5,4. So you write 5,4 as your second solution. Then you are home and dry. Then the answers for part B, we found them as minus 3,6 and 3,7. So let us move on to the next question. Right, we are now moving on to question number 23. It is in line with the geometrical construction. It reads, on this question, use ruler and compasses only for all constructions and show clearly all constructions, lines and arcs. I hope you are listening. Right. The diagram shows an arc of a circle which is in which AB is a chord. So this is the chord being referred to. Construct the locus of points equidistant from A and B. So they want you to draw a line which passes, or which is a perpendicular bisector of AB, in such a way that it passes through at the center or at the midpoint of AB. So it is very simple. You take, this is your compass, right? Make sure this needle, right, touches A. Open a radius of 3/4. Put an arc above, put an arc below. Do not change this radius, right? Then you now touch on B like this. Put an arc above, put an arc below. Then you take your ruler so that you connect the 2 arcs. I hope you are following class, right? So if we connect the 2 arcs, right, like this, you come out with your perpendicular bisector. Then you are warm and dry. We move on to the next question. Right. C is another point on the arc such that BAC is close to 90 degrees. Right. Construct and label point C. So since BAC is close to 90 degrees, it means that we must construct 90 degrees at point A. I hope you are listening. So to construct 90 degrees at point A, you draw an extension line like this, touch A with your needle here, put arc here, and put another arc there. I hope you are listening. Right, then touch this first arc, right? Open a radius of 3/4 in such a way that the pencil is between A and the second arc. Put the arc above, put the arc below. Do not change the radius. Then touch this point, right, with the needle. Then put this arc here and put this arc here in such a way that they intersect with the original arcs. Then you draw your line connecting those two arcs like this. I hope you are listening, class. Right. So since C, right, is another point on the arc, right, such that BAC is close to 90 degrees, we now have 90 degree here. Construct and label the point C. So this is C. I hope you are following, class. Then we move on to the next. Right. We move on to part C of the question. Write down the radius of the circle. Right. So I want you to get this concept. If you have a circle and there is a chord, right, any line that bisects the chord in such a way that it gives an equidistant from point A up to point B. A line which bisects a point, it passes through the center of the circle. It is automatic. Any line which bisects a chord of any circle, it passes through the center of that circle. I hope you are listening. So I want you to get something. This perpendicular bisector of AB, this one, is passing through the center of the circle, right? So radius means half of diameter. So I'm going to measure the diameter of the circle from this point here up to this point. Then I divide my result by 2. I hope you are following, class. So let us measure that distance. You get 6, this is 6,4. Right. So if diameter is equals to 6,4, it means I'm going to divide 6,4 by 2. You get 3,2. Therefore, the radius is 3,2. Then you are home and dry. Number 24, this is in line with the transformation. It reads, part A, draw the image of triangle ABC under a reflection in the line x is equals to 2. So you start by drawing the mirror line, x is equals to 2. This is 2 being referred to as the mirror line here. So this line is x is equals to 2. We want to reflect this triangle. So you can clearly notice that the image of this triangle is going to come on the right side of this mirror line. So how many boxes do we have from B to the mirror line? We have 1 full box. Right. So you count the number of boxes. Let me start with the B here. We have half box and a full box. So the same distance that you move from B to the mirror line is the same distance that you move from the mirror line to the image of B. So we now have 1 box again and a half box. So it means the image of B is going to come at this point. I hope you are listening. We usually denote it as B1. Right, how many boxes from A to the middle line? 1, 2, 3 to this line. So we need to count 1, 2, 3. So this represents A1. I hope you are following, class. How many boxes from C to the middle line? Half box and a full box. So we need half box. We need a full box and a half box. So this is where C1 lies. I hope you are listening. So the concept is the distance from B middle line must be equal to the distance from the middle line to the image of B. Same applies with C. So I'm now connecting the points. So B1 and C1. Then I connect B1 and A1. Then I connect C1 and A1. Then this is your final answer. You got 2 marks for that. We move on to part B. Describe fully a single transformation which maps A onto PQR. Right, so you can clearly notice that ABC and PQR are similar shapes. I hope you are listening, class. Right, so this is an enlargement. So you write enlargement as your first description. Then you get yourself a single mark for that. But enlargement requires center. It requires scale factor. So for you to get 3 marks, you need to identify the center of the enlargement as well as the scale factor of the enlargement. So the center of the enlargement is easy to identify. You just need to connect 2 corresponding points. A is corresponding to P. So you draw a line connecting A and P. Then another corresponding point that we have is R and C are corresponding points. So you connect R here and C here. The point of intersection between those 2 lines is the center of the enlargement. So they are intersecting at -2, 0. So you come here, then you write -2, 0 as your center. I hope you are listening. You get the other mark. Right. We are now moving on to the scale factor. So scale factor is found using center to image, right, divided by center to original. I hope you are following. So what is center to image? Remember, this is the center. What is the image? You have to reread the question and identify the shape which was mapped. ABC is the shape which was mapped. So ABC is the original, PQR is the image. Right. So I need to choose just a pair of of corresponding points together with the center. Like P is this R is a corresponding point to this C. So I need this point C, this point R, and the center to do my calculations. So when I say center to image, I'm referring to the number of boxes vertically from this center down to this image. So this R is the image, then this C is the original. So how many boxes do we have from this center to align to this image point? We have 1 full box downwards to be at the same level with this image point. Downwards means negative. So if you count your boxes downwards, you put a negative sign. If you count your boxes upwards, you put a positive sign. So we have 1 box downwards. Hence, I'm going to write -1 as the center to the image. I hope you are listening, class. Then we move on to center to original. How many boxes do we have from center to original? This is a half box, right? So I'm considering the boxes, not the scale of 2, 4, 6. I'm considering the boxes. So this is a half box from here to here. Half means 0.5, but it's a half box upwards, so it means positive. So I'm going to divide this by 0.5. So 0.5 plus 0.5, it gives you 1. So it means that in 1, we have two 0.5s. So 0.5 into 1, you get 2. So your answer is minus 2. Or you can multiply 1. Minus 1 times 10. 0.5 times 10. You get minus 10 over 5. Where 5 into minus 10, you get minus 2. So our scale factor is minus 2. Then you get the third mark. You are home and dry. I hope you are enjoying the lesson class. Let us move on to the next question. Right. Question number 25. We are given a velocity time graph. The diagram is a velocity time graph of a particle. Find the acceleration of the particle during the first 4 seconds. Right. So, first 4 seconds, they are referring to the distance from 0 to 4. So, acceleration is found using the formula change in y over change in x. I hope you are listening. Right. So the triangle under consideration, let me shade it so that you can clearly see it. This is the line. It is starting from this point up to this point. Right. So the base of the triangle is denoted as change in x. The height of that triangle is denoted as change in y. So to calculate change in x, it is a distance measured from 0 up to 4. So we have 4 units here. This is 4. We have 4 units, right? So on change in x, I'm going to put 4. I hope you are listening, which is the base of the triangle. Then the height of the triangle is not going to be measured from 0 since our triangle is above. So we are going to measure the height of that triangle from 30 to 60. 60 minus 30, you get 30, which is the height of this triangle. And that 30 is the change in y. So on change in y, I'm going to put 30, right? But I want you to notice something, right? Our line, right, is representing a decrease in velocity with respect to time. So if you have a downward line, it means that the particle is decelerating. Hence, you put a negative sign to show that your acceleration is heading towards a downward direction, which shows retardation or deceleration. I hope you are listening, class. Right. So A is equals to minus 2 into 30, you get 15. 2 into 4, you get 2. So A is equals to minus 7,5. Or you can write it as minus 7.5. In its simplest form. We move on to part B. Calculate in terms of h the distance covered from t is equals to 4 to t is equals to h. So they want you to identify this distance from 4 to h. So you can clearly notice that the area or the shape being formed from 4 to h is a trapezium. So whenever you are asked to calculate distance, what you need to do is to calculate the area. Right, so for part B1, we are going to make use of the area of trapezium, half A plus B times what? Times height. So A is from 0 to 30. Then B is from 0 to 80. So B is 80. Then the height is the distance between 4 and h, which is found as h in front minus 4. So this is h minus 4. The number in front is the 1 which less the number before. So h minus 4 is, you don't write 4 minus h, but h is the 1 which less is 4. I hope you are listening. Substitute this into the formula. Half, open bracket, 30 and 80 are the ones which are going to represent A and B. Since A and B are the sides which are moving in the same direction. Then multiply by the height, which is h minus 4. I hope you are listening. So 30 plus 80, what you get here is 110. Then you write h minus 4. 2 into 110 is 55. Then you write h minus 4. So if you expand, you get 55h. Then 55 times 4. This is 20, carry 2. 20 plus 2, you get 20 what? 22. So you get 220. So our final answer is 55 H minus 220. I hope you are listening. Then move on to the next. Find the distance covered from H to 25. So from H to 25, they are representing this shape. It is also another trapezium, where this side and this side are A and B moving in the same direction. So you are going to do the same working. Half A plus B times height is the formula. So what is the distance from this point to this point? This point is aligned to 21. And this point is aligned to H. So 21, which is in front, is the one which less is H, which is before. Right? Then this is the distance from this point up to this point. 21 minus H. Then I'm now measuring the distance from H up to 25. So it's 25 in front minus H, which is before. Then our height is there as 80. So let us substitute in the formula. Half, open bracket, 21 minus H plus 25 minus H, close bracket, times a height of 80. I hope you are following, class. So you can clearly notice that 2 is a factor of 80. So 2 into 80, it gives 40. Right? 21 and 25 are like terms. If you add them, you get 46. Minus H and minus H, they produce minus 2H. All to be multiplied with this 40. I hope you are listening. So what is 40 times 46? 46 times 40. 0 is a place what holder. 4 times 6, you get 24. Carry 2. 4 times 4, you get 16. Plus 2, 18. So this is 1840 if you multiply this 40 with this one. But this 40 is also going to multiply minus 2H to get minus 80H. And this is your answer. So I'm going to write it as 1840 minus 80H like this. I hope you are following, class. We move on to part C. Given that the total distance covered from T is equals to 4 up to T is equals to 25 is 1,395 kilometers. Find the value of H. Right. So from T is equals to 4 up to T is equals to 25. Right. We have to combine the distances that we calculate in part B1, where T was starting from 4, and combine it with part B2, where T was ending at 25. So if we combine the two, you get 4 to 25. So it is a mere addition of the two answers that we got in part B1 and part B2 and equate them to the total distance given. But the unit being used is meters per second. It means that our distance is being measured in meters, not in kilometers. So before you equate, you have to convert this kilometer into meters by multiplying it with 1,000, since we have 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So you are going to get 1395 meters, which is equal as 1,395 kilometers. I hope you are listening. So what I'm going to do is 55H minus the 220 plus 1840 minus 80H must be equated to 1395 meters. So it is now a matter of collecting like terms. I hope you are listening, class. So 55H is a like term with minus 80H. Right? Minus 220 is a like term with 1840. Then equate this with 1395. So 80 less 55. What do you get? You get 25. So 55 minus 80, it produces negative 25H. Since a smaller number is subtracting a bigger number. I hope you are listening. Then 1840 minus 220. 0, 4 minus 2 is 2, 8 minus 2 is 6, 1 minus 0 is 1. So, when you subtract a negative number and a bigger number, start by identifying the different number between the two. Then take the sign of the bigger number. So the difference between 220 and 1840 is 1620. But you can notice that the bigger number is 1840. So you have to take the sign of the bigger number. Like what I did in the first part, the difference between 55H and 80H is 25. But I chose the negative sign. Why? Because 80 was the bigger number containing a negative sign. Equate these to 3095. I hope you are following class. Right. So I'm now collecting what? Like terms. So 1620 is a like term with minus 3095. Moving 3095 to the left side, it becomes a negative number. Then you move 25H to the right hand side, it becomes a positive number. I hope you are listening. So what is 1620 minus 1395? Right? You get what? 12 minus 10, 2, 6 minus 4, 2. It's 225. So you have 225 is equals to 25H. Divide both sides by 25 to find the H. 25 and 25, they cancel out each other. Right? So what is 25 into 225? Right? So if you do not know 25 into 225, you start by reducing it with 5. 5 into 25, you get 5. 5 into 22, you get 4, remainder 2. 5 into 25, you get 5. So you now have 45 over 5. 5 into 45, you get 9. So H is equals to 9. Then you are warm and dry. I hope you are listening, class. So we are now moving on to the final question of this paper, which is in line with probability. Question number 26. It reads, in a shooting game, Nyarai is allowed 2 shots. The probability that she hits the target first time is 0.7. If she hits the first target, the probability that she hits the target second time is 0.6, or otherwise it is 0.3. Complete the tree diagram below and represent all this information. So when completing a tree diagram, just know that the branch above and the branch below, they add up to 1. So if this is 0.7, 1 minus 0.7, you get 0.3. So it means we must have 0.3 to represent the failure of hitting the target in the first attempt. If we have 0.6 as the probability of hitting the second target after hitting the first target, it means 1 minus 0.6, you'll be having 0.4 as the probability of failing to hit the second target after hitting the first target. But I want you to read sentence number 2 clearly and understand it. If she hits the target first time, the probability that she hits the target second time is 0.6, or otherwise is 0.3. So 0.6 and 0.3 are both probabilities of hitting the second target, right? But 0.6 is the probability of hitting the second target after hitting the first. Then 0.3 is the probability of hitting the second target after failing to hit the first target. So this is the position of 0.3, the probability of hitting the second target after failing. So otherwise means when she fails, when Nyarai fails to hit the first target, she will hit the second target with a probability of 0.6. I hope you are listening. So likewise, the 2 branches must add up to 1. It means that we have 0.7 here. Then you get yourself 3 marks for the completion of the tree diagram. We move on to part B. Calculate the probability that she hits the target twice. So it's hit and hit. So hitting the target first time is 0.7. This is 0.7. Then hitting it for the second time is 0.6. So it is a matter of multiplying 0.7 with 0.6. Start by ignoring the commas. 7 by 6, you get what? You get 42. But you have 2 decimal places. So your final answer is 0.42. So I'm going to write 0.42 as the answer of hitting the target twice. We move on to part B2. Find the probability that she hits the target once. So she can hit the target first time, right? And fail to hit the target second time. Or she can fail to hit the target first time and hits the target second time. So for hitting once, we have 2 possible combinations. Hitting first time and failing second time. Or failing first time and hitting second time. So hitting first time is 0.7, this one. Followed by a failure of 0.4. But in probability, whenever you see this word oro means addition. Right? So you put plus, right? Failure to hit target first time is 0.3. This is the 0.3 here. Followed by hitting target second time. So 0.3 is going to multiply 0.3 of hitting the target second time after failing first time. I hope you are listening, class. So 0.7 times 0.4. 7 times 4, you start by getting 28, but you need to present your answer to 2 decimal places, so you get 0.28. Then you put a positive sign in between. 3 times 3, you get 9, but remember we have 2 decimal places, so this 9 must be substituted with a 0, so that we have 2 numbers after the comma. So 0.3 times 0.3, you don't get 0.9, but you get 0.09, so that you have 2 decimal places. Right. So it is now a mere addition of the 2 probabilities. 0.28 plus 0.09. What do you get? 8 plus 9, you get 17, right? Carry 1. 2 plus 0, you get 2 plus 1, 3. Then you put a comma and a 0 like this. So your final answer is 0.37. Then you are home and dry. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you, my viewers, for your support. Thank you for watching my videos. I kindly ask you to subscribe. Invite more subscribers to my channel so that more people can be saved before the exam, which is coming on Wednesday. Remember, you are writing your first paper on 1 December 2021. So this tutorial can be of use, but now, not after. So do not be greedy, but share this channel to as many people as possible. You know your relatives, you know your friends that are writing the exams. You know your colleagues that are writing the exams. They need help before 1 December. So share this information now so that they can tune in to Innocent MAPANDA tutorials and get help before it is too late. Thank you once again. Till we meet again, shalom.